It was absolute madness for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in Portland, and we had everything from some crazy moves on track to some heated tempers off track. So, what stood out to you from Portland this weekend, Dustin?
Hey, it was the chaos, the carnage. As you talk about drivers getting into each other, teammates getting into each other. John Hunter Nemechek not liking what Sammy Smith did to him and paying him back. Sheldon Creed, John Hunter Nemechek had quite a battle. And look, our colleague Parker Kligerman sending it in there on the overtime restart, trying to make things happen. And all of a sudden, the top three cars can't make the turn one corner, and all of a sudden, here's Cole Custer in fourth place, winning the race. So, it's really interesting. As you can see here, Cole Custer, look, the top three get your attention, but look at Cole Custer at the bottom. There he goes, just right by everybody, and uses that to take the lead and go on and win the race. And Cole won one of the stages because of contact between John Hunter Nemechek and Sheldon Creed. So Cole Custer was the benefit of a lot of this stuff on Saturday at Portland International Raceway. So, gets a win, gets 6 playoff points, and has a great day, gets his first victory of the season. So, it was a great day for Cole Custer, carnage and chaos for everybody else.
Yeah, it was a huge day for Cole Custer. Cole back in the Xfinity Series after several years in Cup, trying to work himself back to Cup. So a win's a great big deal to him. The race itself was just full of aggression. I mean, it was why that race reminded us of why fans like road course racing, where, because the aggression level was through the roof, the braking zones, the opportunities to make moves. What a great racetrack. I mean, the racetrack, it really works really well for the Xfinity cars. But listen, man, we love tight racing. I mean, that's what we love. That's what NASCAR is. A lot of contact, a lot of guys mad at each other. And it was just a fun watch. Now, hey, it wasn't fun for these guys. Like, they weren't having fun right here, but it was a fun watch for us race fans.
Well, the Xfinity Series hits back-to-back road courses with their trip to Sonoma this weekend. The first time they're visiting that course. So the track's very different, obviously, Portland to Sonoma, but both road courses. And because they're back-to-back, will we see anything similar to what we saw in Portland? Will any of that aggression carry over? What are the expectations as they go to Northern California this weekend?
Well, I hate to raise expectations because that's when things don't meet expectations. But I'll say this: Sonoma is a very technical course. There were some slow corners. There's some places to make contact. You've got the turn 11 carousel area and turn 7 area where there's a lot of slow corners and you can make contact. This is an opportunity to do it. First time, as you say, for these Xfinity drivers at this course. So there are going to be guys running off course, missing the apex of the corners. There's going to be the opportunity for a lot of contact. And I would suspect there would be a lot of opportunity for tempers to flare. So I think you might see a little bit more of the same thing at Portland, and it could be a fascinating watch this weekend.
Kim, there's a lot of drivers really unhappy with others, and add to that the pressure of the playoffs. Add to that the pressure of people trying to figure out what they're doing next year. Just how difficult the sport is, how competitive the Xfinity Series is. To Dustin's point, and I think it's a really strong one. This is the first time the Xfinity Series has run at Sonoma. So there are drivers in the field that have experience at the racetrack. And I think that will be a massive advantage to them. They get the extended practice of a big 50 minutes, which is almost nothing. But also when you factor in, people running off course, everything else, it's just not going to be much track time. So I do believe that the drivers that have some experience at Sonoma, those guys will have a distinct advantage. It is a very technical racetrack. Climbing up that hill is really hard. It's a difficult racetrack. And so I look for those guys to take advantage of it. And by the way, it's some of our best racers. It's some of the guys that we see running up front quite often on the road courses that have experience here. So I think that'll be a huge advantage.
Jeff, you mentioned all of the drivers upset with each other at Portland. Sheldon Creed, in his post-race interview, even alluded to the fact that he was okay with it because there was a little payback. On a road course, is it easier to pay somebody back without it being egregious?
Yes. But I will say this. There's less, like Sonoma, there's a lot of areas that don't have much runoff. And so you have to recognize that. Like if you ship somebody going downhill through the S's, if you ship somebody in the last corner, you got those big tire barriers. Yeah, so although yes, it is an easier place to do it, and it's easier to conceal because you can make it look like a complete accident. There is a ramification for it because there's some areas that have very little runoff.
Hi, I'm Parker Kligerman. For more access like this from Pit Road, be sure to click and subscribe to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube channel.